And again, if you haven't already, go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel. I would very, very much appreciate it. But if you are like many of us trying to, adjust to the new normal, it's not breaking news that it's not going so well for some folks out there. This whole adjusting to the new virtual meetings and this virtual world is proving pretty hard for some folks.
Has very high standards and like good standards in terms of things, and that oftentimes
that's how it's going to be. Let's make sure everybody has clothes on.
Flirting with other bitches during class. Yeah, whatever.
Guys, we can hear your conversation and we don't want to.
Can I actually hop off this call since I'm not on this account?
It's no problem.
Okay,
Go ahead, Sean.
We started this quarter off at 2.75%.
Holy shit.
Daniel.
God.
I don't think he's
Daniel.
January.
Oh
Can you do
my,
that for us?
Daniel.
Daniel.
Call Mika.
Oh my God.
You call Daniel on his cell. Call Daniel on his cell.
Oh,
How do we turn this feed off?
shit.
Wow.
We can't.
Oh, hell no.
Daniel.
Now I heard that last clip might be fake. I actually really hope it is. I don't know, because I feel very bad for Daniel there. But if there's one company that is having a particularly hard time adjusting, it's the cable news network, also known as CNN.
All right, so we do have some bad news for Jeffrey Toobin. If you don't know who he is CNN's chief legal analyst. He's also a reporter for The New Yorker. Toobin allegedly exposed himself on a Zoom call with his colleagues last week, and as a result, he's been suspended by the magazine and is on leave from CNN after he asked for some time off.
Yep, some much needed time off, I'm sure. And now the head of the network is finding himself in a little bit of a sticky situation as well.
You're unmuted. Hey, Jeff Zucker, you there? Hey, yes. This is James O'Keefe. We've been listening to your CNN calls for basically 2 months, recording everything. Just wanted to ask you some questions if you have a minute. Do you still feel you're the most trusted name in news? Because I have to say, from what I've been hearing on these phone calls, I don't know about that. Maybe.
That is James O'Keefe, the leader of the Project Veritas, calling Jeff Zucker, the head of CNN, to tell him that he's been secretly recording their morning meetings for the last 2 months. And I'm like, who would have thought that the Tobin masturbation thing would only be the second most embarrassing thing to happen to CNN this year? But to be honest with you, I don't think this is as big of a story as, some conservatives out there might want it to be. Now, Keefe says he's releasing a clip a day until Christmas, his, weird way of doing an advent calendar. And so far, he's released a lot of stuff that doesn't really seem too damning.
Trump has used the communism, socialism rhetoric as part of his hook for the Cubans in Miami, how that has resonated and how the Biden team has not done enough to counter that. This is all that the only reason they are supporting Trump is because of that narrative. And that narrative and the fact that, sadly, I have to say, there's a population that is very attracted to bullies, and no one is countering it properly. In Florida, the Cubans are going to vote for Trump, and that's terrifying. And so I think that there is a way to counter the narrative in Florida that is not being taken advantage of.
Now, that can seem, pretty damning there, but this shouldn't be breaking news to you, and I shouldn't have to break this to you, but journalists, they have an opinion. I have an opinion. I'm allowed to have an opinion. Journalists aren't robots. They're people just like you and I, right? And in that clip, she's talking about Trump trying to make Biden look like a socialist, which he definitely did, and he was very effective in doing, and that's what kind of turned a lot of Cuban Americans towards Trump and away from Biden. And it's not a fact that, hey, Biden is not a socialist. He is very much not a socialist. So the fact that they're talking about it casually on on a call really isn't that shocking to me. And maybe these tapes don't meet your level of journalistic integrity, but, you know, attack them on air for their actual coverage, not just behind the scenes gossip. I mean, is it any secret that these highly educated people with lots of degrees and who have, you know, traveled the country meeting all types of different folks are privately not a fan of the guy who's trying to pull off like a slow-moving coup right now? I mean, is that really shocking to anyone out there? And I mean, seriously, one of these bombshell revelations is that Jeff Zucker reportedly, I don't know if it's true, but he thinks Rudy Giuliani is crazy.
Did you ask the Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden?
No, actually, I didn't. I asked the Ukraine to investigate the allegations that there was interference in the election of 2016 by the Ukrainians for the benefit of Hillary Clinton, for which there already is a court finding. You never asked anything about Hunter Biden. You never asked anything about Joe Biden. The only thing I asked about Joe Biden is to get to the bottom of how it was that Lutsenko, who was appointed, dismissed the case against Antak. So you did ask Ukraine to look into Joe Biden? Of course I did. You just said you didn't.
I'm getting a headache.
Just his version of the truth, not the truth.
Truth is truth. I don't mean to go like.
No, it isn't truth. Truth isn't truth.
Truth isn't truth.
No,
this is going to become a bad meme.
Don't do this to me.
Not Rudy. Not Rudy. I mean, that guy doesn't look crazy to you? Seriously. Rudy Giuliani doesn't seem crazy? I mean, that is this shocking revelation for Project Veritas that Giuliani that Zucker thinks Giuliani is crazy. I mean, yeah, I'm shocked, right? And the thing is about this story, this Project Veritas story, is that we have to look at where this information is actually coming from and their track record.
You know, I'm going to throw a number out. I would say it's probably anywhere from $30 to $100, depending on the facility and what's involved.
The $30 to $100 price, that's per.
So before Project Veritas was made famous for these undercover sting videos of CNN, they did a bunch of sting videos of Planned Parenthood, accusing them of selling fetuses and organs for medical research. But, you know, as you saw that clip before, these clips are very edited, and it's very important what they actually leave out.
Every provider has had patients who want to donate their tissue, and they absolutely want to come. You know, I'm going to throw a number out. I would say it's probably anywhere from $30 to $100, depending on the facility and what's involved. And it just has to do with space issues. Are you sending someone there that's going to be doing everything, or is their staff going to be doing it? What exactly are they going to be doing? Is there shipping involved? Is somebody coming to pick it up? For affiliates, at the end of the day, they're a nonprofit.
So that's the thing with the organ selling kind of controversy. They weren't selling these organs to make a profit. I mean, obviously, it seems a little icky, a little weird there, but they're just trying to not lose money doing it. You know, there's a very big difference between trying to make a profit and operating a nonprofit where you don't have a ton of money to throw around anyway. And the thing with, groups like Project Veritas is they have one mission, and that's to make you believe what they want you to believe. And they'll do anything to do it. You might listen to these tapes and think there's some horrible things on there and say that isn't journalism, and that's not right. They might listen to CNN tapes and think, okay, maybe they shouldn't be saying these things. And, it calls into question their journalistic integrity. But if that isn't journalism, then what the hell is Project Veritas? But let me know what you think, right? Let me know what you think of these stories, what you think of these tapes. Again, they're going to come out, steadily up until Christmas, so there's going to be a lot more revelations to come out. But yeah, leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking about this. Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for watching Citizen Pete. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, click that little subscribe button, maybe the like button, and hey, maybe just leave a comment. I want to know what you're thinking. What do you think about all the politics and news and all the stuff that's going on in our country?